Taken by the state. Oranga Tamariki chief expected to quit. Strong signals the chief executive of the Children's Ministry's time in charge is over, just days after another damning report on its unfixable failings. The head of Oranga Tamariki, Grain Moss, is believed to be leaving the role after a year of widespread controversy and public inquiries into her ministry's unlawful uplifts of Mori along with other ethnicities, children. Moss, who has been in the job for 4 years after suddenly departing her previous role in the private sector, had the support of former NZ First Minister Tracy Martin, but the majority Labour government has declined to express confidence in her. Last night, Whole Naora Minister Pini Henare told Teao Mori News that a change at the top which allegedly might be happening in a couple of hours was not surprising, as Children's Minister Kelvin Davis had indicated a new approach was needed. Several sources have told Newsroom Moss is set to leave. However, she fronts up in Wellington at the urgent Wait Angie Tribunal inquiry into Oranga Tamariki's removals of Mori children. Understood she will offer an apology for the agency's failings and even accept it exhibits institutional racism. Moss and the ministry have made much of their attempts to forge agreements with IWI to improve the care and protection outcomes for Mori children in the past year. This followed a law change and the high-profile Newsroom documentary which exposed attempts by social workers and police to take a 1-week-old baby from its mother in a ward at Hawke's Bay Hospital. However, on Tuesday night, in a scathing and highly awkward challenge to that claim, Taranaki IWI Ngati Ruanui, which had reached an agreement with Oranga Tamariki, accused the ministry of failing to change and of using such deals as window dressing. Oranga Tamariki say all the right things but do not deliver on the ground, said the Iwis to Muwakat, Himana Marira. The partnership with our IWI appears to be window dressing only. We are clearly being treated with mistrust and the same old gatekeeping and control by Oranga Tamariki. It really is a colonial master-servant model which is shocking to witness. The Children's Commissioner, Judge Andrew Beecroft, after his office's inquiry into Oranga Tamariki's taking of Mori Pepe, up to 3 months old, this week called for a total transformation of the care and protection system, including moving power and resources from the ministry directly to Mori organizations. His was the 4th inquiry launched after the Newsroom investigation by journalist Melanie Reid, with an internal OT report finding systematic fault, the Ombudsman finding almost all without notice uplifts of children that it reviewed were done unlawfully, and a Mora-led inquiry by the Whole Naora organizations also calling for resourcing to be shifted to Mora to care for their children. The tribunal hearing is the 5th forum to investigate these issues since the uproar in June last year. Mora leaders involved in that inquiry have repeatedly called for Moss' resignation. The fish rots from the head became a common declaration at Hawaii to investigate the issue. Dame Nada Glavish, Dame Tariana Turia, Dame Iritana Tawiwirangi and Dame Areta Kupa with Sir Mark Solomon at Hawaii on OT. Photo, supplied Moss' 5-year term at Oranga Tamariki nominally runs until mid-next year. However, with her former Minister Martin now out of Parliament and the cascading calls for reform at the ministry, her time was up once Davis declined to endorse her when he took up the portfolio. Her time at the helm not only saw the steep rise in removals of Mori children from their families into state care but also internal problems and allegations of a culture of bullying and suppressing of alternative views. A Newsroom inquiry also raised questions over the manner of her departure from her role leading the healthcare provider Bupa NZ and how thorough the State Service Commission's processes for checking and validating her background had been. Moss' departure would raise the prospect of Davis appointing a Mori chief executive to run the Children's Ministry, given its historically high proportion of Mori children and families on its files. Asked by Teao Maori News whether he favored that, Henare said, "Let's not repeat our mistakes. That's why I'm saying we need to look for the right permanent department Ment. A few ministers and I will talk to him Kelvin Davis about what Mori want. If you are asking me as a Mori, I will say yes. However, no doubt there is a lot to do. The government will be there instructing him on how to select new person. But I've heard the complaints from Mori, so it should be Mori. Should Moss leave, as expected, the government would still need to change an agency with 9 deputy chief executives, many of whom have been gushing in their praise for Moss, including ministry-wide emails defending her and backing her approach.